Black John, they call me. Well, there are many Johns in town. Every other man is called John. So when we speak of them, we say, Lame John, John that lives by the tower, Grand John, he is the tall one. They might have called me John the Carpenter, but that's my trade. I'm not the only carpenter called John, or John the Galleyman, as that's how I arrive here on the Italian galleys. But the town is full of galleymen, so that will not help. John the Janaway could have been another. Janaway is what they call Genoese. They think all those from Italy are Genoese. English are lazy like that. But they call me Black John. There is no confusion in that. I am black and I am John. More precisely, Giovanni. Though I did not come from Italy, not originally, but they were great sailors. All around Mediterranean, they had outposts. And if you get a job on the galley, it sets you up for life. I am not a sailor, as I told you. I am a carpenter. But they need carpenters in the ships. They take a beating on those long voyages. They always need repairs. They travel around picking up cargo all around the world, bringing it here to trade for English wool. When we arrive in port, we are here for months. First, we savour the delights of the town. We have money to spend, and we have been at sea a long time. Then it gets boring, and we look for work. My friend Miguel and I were hired by the town to mend the crane. An important job, huh? The crane are valuable assets for the town, loading and unloading cargo, a cargo that makes this town rich. And that's when I saw my opportunity. Yes, they got carpenters, but my skills are better. Plenty of work, and I prefer to be on dry land, though it rains here often. There are other blackamoors. That's the other name they call us. Anyone with dark skin, no matter where you come from. English are lazy like that. I found myself logging in St. Michael and St. John's Parish. You can hear the bells. Italians use St. John's Parish. I keep my contact there in case I want to move on. But I prefer St. Michael's. I just need to change into my Sunday best, made by one of the finest tailors of the galley. Fine clothes, latest fashions. People will notice me and they call me John the best dressed.
Joan! 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 Oh, Joan, I need to be saved! Joan! Joan! Pray for me!
My mistress is dying. The prayers are for her, that she might enter the kingdom of heaven. She worries about her soul. I was not born a Christian, but mistress said we had to be saved. All her black servants needed to be saved. We are called servants, but we were bought as slaves by my mistress's husband. Her husband, he died not many weeks ago. He was a merchant, owned many ships that sailed across the great oceans to the New World. I don't think the New World is new. It looked old to me, old like Africa. I was sold in Africa, bought by the Portuguese. But the English, they attack their ships and steal cargo, their cargo. It is easier than getting their own cargo. I ended up in a place they call Virginia, sold and sold again. Master Lawrence, he brought us here to Southampton. They own a great stone house, many rooms, fine furniture, carpets and glass. I ended up as a servant, serving my mistress, Maria Cross, run the house and look after her needs. I have some freedom. I walk the streets, go to the markets, go to the Church of St. Lawrence, have my soul saved. She told me she left me some money in her will, £3, a flock bed, and bedding. She said it is traditional. Good mistresses leave money and goods to their servants. It is a lot of money, a dowry mistress said. I don't understand. I think I will be free. But can I live? It's not enough to buy passage, but it can buy me a husband.
Joan! Joan!
Coming, mistress.
It's been a long journey to rest at Town Hill House, to be dressed in silk and to dine off fine china. My grandmother was a daughter of a plantation owner, but her mother was a slave. I don't even know her name. She was the mistress to John Agur. She gave him 5 daughters, and he gave the children his name and their freedom, but could not, would not, marry their mother because of the colour of her skin. My grandmother travelled the same path. Her man, William Tyndall, my mother, Elizabeth, was granted the rights and privileges of her white father. Well, her skin was pale and her family rich, but he still did not give her his name. But he gave it to us, and we came, all 5, to England, the fair-skinned children of John Morse. We had money, but not quite enough. My brother trained as a lawyer and joined the East India Company. My sister and I joined him in India. It was commonplace for Gentile ladies of breeding, but of small fortune, to go to India to find rich husbands. The company merchants were sent out there as boys to learn their trade, and if they did not die from the climate, they could become very rich. Most took local mistresses, but when it came to wives, they waited for the ships from England with their marriage cargo. My sister and I, well, we played the game well. I married Nathaniel Middleton. He was the son of a clergyman, unknown and ordinary, but by the age of 19 was working with Warren Hastings at the court of ruler of Oudh in Lucknow. By 34, he could retire, return to England and purchase this estate. Our children move in the best circles. We're part of the social elite. We have our portraits painted by the best artists. And our pasts have been painted out.
Come on, I haven't got all day.
What are the chances? I just stepped into the cross guns, not St. Michael's Church. The name appeared. I am a soldier. I was a soldier, and it seems I'll be a soldier again. I had barely lifted the pot of beer to my lips when I heard my name, and I turned. Here is my lieutenant, and he calls out, "John Jackson, hold that man!" And hands were laid on me. No point in struggling. Some men look with me in disgust, but others, I can see, have some sympathy. They are used to seeing the press gang carrying men off to the Navy. The lieutenant is in a hurry. He has to go to Bristol, so he marches me down here to prison and says I am to be clapped in irons while he's off to get his reward. 20 shillings I am worth to him, and I'll be returned to my regiment, the 31st Regiment of Foot. The regiment had been in Indies. You see, soldiers were scurvy, weak, and yellow fever saw most of them off. So they needed new recruits. That was back in the 1790s. So things were not great for one such as I. But at that time, the English were fighting the French for control of St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, Barbados, and there were opportunities. Join up and freedom is assured. It was a way out, but a way of trading one type of control for another. It wasn't just the Indies you were fighting. It was everywhere. Ireland, Spain, Sicily, and now we are being sent to Egypt. I don't even know where Egypt is. Skirmishes, battles, people die in war. Nelson died. He was given a great funeral. Our regiment lined the funeral route, all in polished buttons. Uniforms clean, bayonets gleaming. If I die, if I was lucky, I'll be buried where I fell, but more likely to be left for scavengers or crews. If on a ship, over the side you go. I just wanted a bit of freedom. Take a pot of beer in the pub, smoke a pipe, tell a few tales of places seen, victories achieved, deserter. It's not like I ran away from a battle, more absent without leave. And it's not like I'm the only one. There are hundreds, thousands even. If I am court-martialed, it could be the death penalty, or branded with the letter D. And All this amuses me. Transportation for life. More likely, I'll be off to Egypt.
I was my father's only child and an heiress. So when he died, I inherited the estates, a plantation in Jamaica. Red Hassan? Well, it's not so very unusual. Many of my neighbours in Castle Square and Bugle Street all have properties over there. And my late husband was of a plantation family as well, of course. But as a widow, I had no interest in running the estates myself. And the climate can be so cruel to the skin. So I moved here to Southampton. Well, it has everything that I require. Fine company, balls and assemblies, libraries, the theatre, and London shops. And of course, being a spa and health resort, then it has all the medical and health benefits that seem to become more important as one moves into the middle years. And one never knows when death will stalk. My son was taken from me. Now it is just my daughter Anne and myself, and my granddaughter. Which is why I decided to write my will and settle my Jamaican affairs. As well as the estates, I also have money in the consols, of course, so my daughter will be an heiress just as I was. But never let it be said that I did not concern myself with those less fortunate that I was in contact with. I wanted to secure the future of my maid, Eliza Clark. She was such a comfort and support to me whilst I lived in Jamaica. So when my friend James Wise expressed an interest in her, well, it seemed the ideal situation. So I sold her to him, but under the provision that when he died, he would free her. I felt sure I had done well by her. But imagine my disappointment when I discovered that he had not honoured our agreement. I felt very deceived and upset. Well, it did not reflect well on me. When he died, he did not free poor Eliza. Well, I cannot rest. This very day, I have made a codicil to my own will. I have instructed my executors to buy Eliza back. Yes? And not only that, I have also written that when it is my time to move on to a better place, then she is to be freed. And not only that, but I've also taken into account any offspring that Eliza may have had while she belonged to James Wise. I know, even though there is no obligation for me to do such a thing because, well, they're not considered my property at all. So I'm under no obligation to look after them. And I've also made an annuity for Eliza, £5 per year. She should manage very well on that. Of course, there is only so much that I'm prepared to spend. But I think £300 is fair both to Eliza and my daughter and her inheritance. If her owner demands more, it is simply not a price worth paying.
The manager tells me this theatre was based on the same design as Theatre Royal, Drury Lane. Perhaps I can imagine myself there. I played London, the Royalty Theatre 2 years ago. It did not go as well as I would have liked. Audiences were low, there was a flu epidemic, unfortunate, and some prejudice. Prejudice about my portraying Othello, the black man in his prime. Some said I did not project the words clearly enough. I'm trying to lose my New York accent, of course, and perhaps I was too young and inexperienced an actor to have tried at that time. But I had played to great acclaim in Scarborough. Reputation is an idle and most false imposition, oft got without merit and lost without deserving. But it's been only 4 years since I arrived in the land of Shakespeare. I need to pay my dues, really learn my craft. Othello is a marvelous role. No one will deny that. All the great actors want to play him. The manager tells me the cream of the theatre world have performed here, including Sarah Siddons, the great tragic actress. She has played Desdemona. I would have liked to have performed with her. And the performance is sold out. This is an extra show, the elite of society demanding to see my Othello. But I don't just want to play Othello. I want to stretch myself. Play Iago, Hamlet, Richard III, King Lear. Well, I'm too young for that at the moment. And I have other ambitions. To have my own theatre, my own company, to be an actor manager. Ambition. I am ambitious. But I also know I'm good. This is what I was meant to do. I read Shakespeare as a child. My friends thought I was strange. They couldn't hear the music in the language. It became my obsession to come to England to play Shakespeare in the land of the bard, to bring something new to the role of Othello, something only someone such as I could portray. But I will wear my heart upon my sleeves for doors to peck at. I am not what I am.
Mr. Aldridge, sir, the house is seated and waiting for your performance with anticipation. Shall I take you through?